Hello and welcome to the Big Bang Theory podcast. My name's John. I'm here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Hello.
Hello. What a week.
What a week.
Been absolute bonanza of success.
2 home games.
Yes.
1 win, 1 draw.
Oh, I'm not even counting it as a draw, by the way.
Well, it is a draw, though, isn't it,
Yeah,
technically?
When it's a cup,
we won on pens.
One on pens.
Yeah.
So City were at home Saturday, August Bank Holiday, to Reading FC.
Just quickly, this sounds weird. We're recording in a different place.
Oh, yeah, it's a one-time thing because the builders are in.
Yeah. That's not a euphemism.
It's not a euphemism. I don't know what that would be a euphemism for, but they are in.
Yeah. Well, they are in, yeah.
Currently sawing a hole in the ceiling. Anyway, we're here, so if it sounds weird, deal with it.
Yes.
What doesn't sound weird, what sounds great, is Exeter City's current status.
I know, yeah.
So Reading at home Saturday.
There's quite a few things to cover here, hasn't it? It's been a bit of a kind of bit of a week of it.
Jam-packed.
Reading at home. I think they're doing all right, weren't they? They had a couple of losses early on, but they've been in a couple of wins on the bounce. They were looking good.
They got an expensive manager, Ruben Sellers.
Is he expensive, is he?
I'd
Do you
imagine
mean he's got
so.
expensive taste, or he's expensive himself?
He expensive himself. I don't know about his taste, but you know, the two things often go hand in hand, don't they?
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah. Well, you need to be expensive in order to feed your expensive habits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Leather handbags,
Mm.
etc. More on that later. Anyway, there he was, and there we were. City went ahead through a Will Aimson goal. Lovely stuff.
Yeah, so we started without a striker in this game. Jack Aitchison sort of up front, if you will.
Yeah.
Tom Carroll and the lads, the rest of them in there.
Yep.
Is there any other differences? Oh, yeah, so the other difference was Ilmari Niskanen started the match.
Indeed.
Finally received his international clearance. Don't know what that was about, but maybe something to do with Brexit, maybe not. Don't know.
Who knows? We don't know, but we do know he was there and he has got it. Clearance, I mean.
He's got the clearance,
Yes.
yeah, that's for sure.
Do you think there's ever any confusion when, like, he plays the ball short from the back and they're like, we thought you had international clearance? And that literally means launch it.
Yeah, well, he is an international.
Yeah.
So, you know, whatever. Yeah, he looked good, didn't he?
Yeah.
Started off very enthusiastically. Faded as the game went on a little and went off, but you know, probably hasn't played much recently, so fair enough, really. Nice, isn't it? Nice looking fella. Both those Finnish guys are a couple of nice guys, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you see them sort of giving each other a little hug or something, and it's just like, oh, look at that.
Yeah, they're not burly, beardy fellas, are
Finnish
they?
friends.
Finnish friends.
Yeah. Zach Jules also started in there. And, yeah, Trevitt and Carroll in the middle. Rankin and Mitchell as the 2 advanced
Yes.
midfielders, if you like. Aitchison up front, as I said. And then the usual back 3 and keeper. Reading had Charlie Savage in midfield.
Yeah, of course,
He
yeah.
didn't do much. Did put a good corner in at one point.
Manchester United own him, right? But he's son of Robbie.
Yeah, he was on loan at Forest Green
That's
last
right,
season,
that's right,
wasn't
that's
he?
right.
And Robbie Savage cried when he scored on Soccer Saturday.
Did he?
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, I can understand that.
Cried with pride.
Yeah.
Would you cry with pride if your son scored a goal?
On Soccer Saturday? Yeah, I suppose I would.
Right.
It's quite the thing, isn't it?
Suppose so. Anyway, he played. Also, Reading have got this guy, and I'm not going to attempt to pronounce his name. Kelvin someone.
Right.
Anyway, they didn't look up to much, really.
No, okay.
We played so well for most of that first half. Like, I think it's as good as I think I've ever seen us play. And that's not. I don't think that's an exaggeration.
Really?
We were purring.
Yeah. He's got us playing some lovely football.
Carroll and Trevitt linking up. Tom Carroll. I mean, I think you could probably have to watch maybe the long highlights, or perhaps you. And if you've got the EFL iFollow thing, you can re-watch the whole match if you're that way inclined.
Yeah.
Some of you are probably too busy to be doing that, doing other things with your life. Not me. I like it. Just almost like taking the piss. Do you mean like on Tom Carroll? This is obviously look what I can do.
Yeah. Well, it must be a
come at
delight,
me,
mustn't it?
You know, like
to think like I've got the chops here, and they're not good enough to stop me.
yeah, I worry a little bit that we're kind of that we absolutely need him.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And like, so he's the kind of massive upgrade on Kevin McDonald, right?
Yes. Yes.
And we needed him
Yes.
to play that kind of football.
Yeah.
I think Trevitt can do it.
Yeah.
And Reece Cole is, looking excellent, which we'll come on to as well. But Carroll is just can always find the right, not just space, but the right space. He's always got time. He can take the ball, and he's comfortable taking the ball, even if he's got like people around him, because he's just thinking, well, these are just some League One lads.
I mean,
like he knows
yeah.
And honestly, we played. It was unreal the football we were playing.
I mean, I suppose we're not used to it at City, are we? Because in League Two or even in League One, when you're lower level or conference, of course, it's like you need a good team and you need a good few extra players in the squad, and you manage in that way.
Yeah, and you usually kind of base your tactics around that.
Yes, that's right. Now, the better a team gets, so obviously we're thinking like, oh, this is a problem for Exeter City, but this is a problem for every team, the better they get, isn't it? So even the very best teams, with all the money in the world, because they've got a very brilliant footballer, or whoever that might be, if you lose them, it's always a big problem.
Yeah.
So even Manchester City, with all their money, if they lost one of those two big ones, it's a real nightmare for them. And so I guess that's just a product of having the very best players.
They almost, if anything, I suppose that's true of them. They almost seem like the only exception to that. Do you know what I mean? But that's rare and weird in itself, and that's only an illustration of how much money they've got.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? They're like a kind of, you chop one head off and another one grows back. Do you know what I mean? But everybody else, I agree, even up to the very top. Yeah.
So that's maybe just a product of being a good team and playing well with good players.
Yeah, and I think like I said, Trevitt and Cole both look really good, and are only going to get better, hopefully. So if, God forbid, Tom Carroll does get another injury, hopefully they can do it. They can do it to a decent enough level that we can still operate. But yeah, absolutely just fantastic stuff. And then somehow Reading scored.
So we're ahead by an Aimson header from a short corner, right?
Yeah, that's. I would just say, right, when that happened, make a note of that short corner. That a short corner worked.
Yes.
I mean, it was a short corner that ended up with Tom Carroll whipping the ball in. So, that's, again, some context for that. And Aimson, nice header.
Dare I say, the old short corner routines, last season and before, were like, we don't know what to do with this.
No. Yeah.
Whereas I feel like now, we can play a long corner from direct, so Cole or whoever works. But also, because we've got Carroll and Trevitt,
yeah,
then that's an occasional option, isn't it? That's how you should use a short corner, not...
Well, essentially, Carroll takes the corner,
yes,
and then gets it back and whips it in from a different angle. Yeah, so, that's how it should work. Yeah, I think we'll come on to the Stevenage match, but we also had another set-piece goal from another defender, from Alex Hartridge, and in his post-match interview, he said they were asking why you've been better from set-pieces this season, because we have been, we've scored a few from set-pieces now and whatnot, and he was too kind, really, to Archie Collins, because the difference is that we now have people who are better at taking corners. Yeah. That's just a fact. Collins was rubbish.
And dare I also say...
Great player, but I'm not taking it away from Archie, but his corners were shit.
Dare I also say, Colwell's got us better organised. Like, it just feels like we actually have an idea what might happen with corners.
Yeah.
If you kick it here, this is what I expect you to do as a person attacking the ball or whatever. So
that's what I reckon how he said it as well. Kick it here. Yeah.
That kind of technical lingo you can expect from this podcast, listeners.
Yeah.
So
Imagine
Reading
if he said that in his interview. I want them to kick it there and then kick it over there and then just kicking. Just loads of kicking. Have I got the job?
It reminds me of the 1998 World Cup, and I was watching it with school friends, and there was a girl there that we were at school with, and apropos of nothing, I think we had the ball at the back, and she just screamed incredibly loudly, like, "Kick it in a goal!" So, yeah, I apologise.
Well, it's not wrong.
No, it's not wrong.
That is what you should be doing.
Good advice,
it's
in a
like,
way.
Again, maybe I've mentioned this before as well, but when Paul Ince was, I think, Blackburn manager, and he passed a note to one of his team, and the cameras picked up and it just said "shoot" on it. Paul Ince, did he manage Reading?
He did,
Let's bring it back round to that. Yeah, so they managed to get a goal back, even though we were all over them, really.
Yeah.
Like I said, we were playing really well just before half-time.
Bit of a counter, wasn't it?
It was a counter-attack goal, and I haven't really seen anyone mention this, but it looked like to me that was Niskasen's man, that he leaves.
Right.
Runs towards the ball and leaves a man on the back post, and then Sweeney kind of like slides in to try and misses it, or the guy dodges the slide and then smashes it in. But, second half.
So it was 1-1, half time.
Yeah, and actually, to be honest, in the second half, Reading came back into it.
Okay. That expensive manager earning his expensive gear.
Probably just got some cash out at the half time. We're like,
Do you like this, lads?
Tenner for you if you.
That's the kind of motivational
Bribes.
stuff you can expect. Yeah.
Yeah, I work best with financial incentive. No doubt about it. Imagine how good this podcast would be if we were getting paid to do it.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, rather than paying to do it.
Yes. That would be the kind of luxury podcast that you can only dream of.
I know. Well, one day.
So they were better in the second half.
They were better, definitely. I'm not sure what happened. Really.
There were a few chances, weren't there? I've completely forgotten our goalkeeper's name because Niskanen's in my head.
Sinisalo.
Made a couple of good saves, didn't he?
He made a good save. They had a good chance down their right hand side, which went just wide of the post. We still had a couple of efforts. Aitchison had one that went over the bar, but we weren't anywhere. I mean, I think it's more that we were so good in the first half that in the second we couldn't keep up that level. A few changes were made. Like I said, Niskanen came off. And then Sam Nombe came on.
Yes. Give us a focal point.
Yeah. Now, lots to talk about with Sam Nombe. However, the main thing at this point is he set up our winning goal in added time.
Long throw from deep. Was it Hartridge?
Hartridge long throw, just comes to Nombe in the back in the penalty area, who's kind of backing up against a defender.
Yeah.
One touch lays it off to Reece Cole, who's come on, who just smashes it in from the edge of the box.
Lovely.
That's what you want, isn't it? You want people like we've got people like him and Trevitt.
Yeah.
Hanging around on the edge of the box, keen to smash it in.
Yeah. And capable of
kick
doing
it in
so.
the goal.
That's what
they've done.
It in the goal.
Reece Cole kicked it in the goal. And
thus football was completed.
And we won the game.
Yeah.
And I think we were worth it as well. Like I said, it was a payoff for how well we were playing in that match at one point. And then at full time, we got the final. Sam Nombe conducting the big bank from the front. Very much kind of coerced towards us by the manager and other players.
Right.
And if there was any doubt around the rumours that had been going around about him moving on, he literally was waving goodbye.
Yes.
So,
and we've now had more info. So Colwell said in his interview last night they've accepted bids from 2 clubs.
Did you say 2?
Yes.
Okay.
And now it's up to, I think he said a couple, which I'm taking as 2.
Right. It's definitely more than one.
More than one.
Yeah.
And Sam's talking to them and thinking about it.
Yeah. Now, we said earlier on it would take a big bid to get that. The rumour is that it's a million or...
A cool 1 mil.
Or just north of a mil.
A cool 1.1 mil.
Is it? What's slang for a mil, apart from a mil?
I don't know.
Anyway.
Not often...
so we got to give a little bit of that to MK Dons, haven't we? 30% or something.
There's some talk of 30%. We're not actually sure yet.
And the main 2 in recent times, obviously Charlton was the talk early in the transfer window.
They've now bought someone, haven't they? So
have they?
I think so.
Right. And then the 2 most talked about recently have been Barnsley and Rotherham United. Yeah, reuniting Nombe with the man that brought him to Devon in the first place, Matt Taylor.
I mean, that would make sense. You could see why that'd be attractive to Nombe, and it's Championship, not League One.
Yeah.
So there's all those
obviously
things.
prefer him to go to the Championship because you don't want to have to play against him, do you? Do you know
that's
what I mean?
right.
And it'd be interesting to see what he can do in the Championship as well. You know what I mean?
Well, he's given everything for us, hasn't he?
You can't. He's been a sort of model professional, hasn't he? You know?
Yeah. So we want him
He
to
absolutely gives 110%,
Yeah.
as they say, even though it's impossible. Ask Einstein. Ask Einstein if that's
When's
possible.
he coming in?
He'll tell you. I think they've got him in for one of the senior Grecians forums. Or the
Just
North
ask-
Devon Grecians, whatever. He's going in to do a talk with them.
Just about unlikely football statistics.
Yeah.
Albert, is it possible to give 110%?
Yeah.
And he'd say
no.
9.
Would he?
Well, he's German.
I thought he's Austrian.
Same language.
Right. Yeah, he wouldn't. And maybe, I mean, it'll be a ghost, wouldn't it? It'll just be a ghost.
German ghost.
Austrian ghost. Yeah.
What other questions would you ask him?
I thought they said, what other ghosts could the senior Grecians get in?
That's also be good.
Yeah, to know. Anyone.
Anyone.
Tchaikovsky, Hitler.
Why would you want Hitler?
Well, I don't know. Interesting to talk to. I'm not endorsing his behaviour.
It feels like an endorsement if the North Devon Grecians have booked him, to be honest.
That's the beauty of ghosts. You haven't got to pay them.
Ghost money.
They haven't got any pockets.
They've got pockets, but they're only apparitions.
Yeah.
Apparitional Pockets
Who
shall be the name of this podcast.
Email in which ghosts do you think that the senior Grecians, is that even a thing, the senior Grecians? Is that what they're called?
Yeah, it
right.
is, yeah.
Which ghosts do you think the senior Grecians could get
any
in for a
Grecian
talk?
group could book them, of course. You don't have, just because you're old doesn't mean you have to be more friends with ghosts.
No? Which ghost would you like to hear on Quad Pod?
Yeah, that's right. That kind of question. We'd like to know. Who would you like to see? I'm just thinking quickly.
Tchaikovsky.
All right. Yeah, good.
I think I'd like to see him, Tchaikovsky, asked about the quality of the chants.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the composition, the instrumentation.
Yeah.
What we could do to improve them.
I'd wager Tchaikovsky.
How they scan the rhyming systems in place. I think he'd have some good insight on that.
Of course, Tchaikovsky, famously not a lyricist, so...
No, but I still think he's musical, isn't he?
All right. I reckon Nombe would do a better job conducting the Big Bank than Tchaikovsky.
Do you?
Yeah, I've said it now.
Well, that's a big shout, but...
I'd get... who would I get? Which ghost? Hard to say, isn't it?
Well, there's a lot of people that have died.
A lot of people to choose from.
Yeah.
Adam and Eve?
Well, they're the oldest ghosts, of course.
The original ghosts.
Yeah.
Just to see, what it's like. Do you know what their favourite hoarding is at St James Park?
Tell me.
Apple taxis.
No, that's the last thing they want to see, an apple.
All right, fair enough. Don't know. JMT Wood.
Thrifty.
Tell you what, Adam and Eve don't have apparitional pockets. No way.
No, but didn't they get embarrassed after eating the apple and then were suddenly kind of like, put some clothes on?
I'm going to say that pockets were a later invention than original clothes.
No, probably right, yeah.
Anyway.
So, Sam Nombe.
He's gone.
So, we don't know.
Gone.
We might find out today.
Yeah.
I think that's what Colbo said last night in his interview, that might be happening right now. It might be being announced somewhere, but it usually happens a bit later in the day, doesn't it? So
it'll be the old 1 or 2 p.m. announcement from the other club, and then it will be an almost immediate resharing by him, and then an hour later saying bye to all the Grecians.
Yeah, it was what we've done there is brought in a player for 100 grand from MK Dons.
Yeah. A marquee signing, no less, to give the previous parlance.
Yeah, but was he?
I mean, none of them were they?
He wasn't really Tom Carroll's a marquee signing. I mean, in a way, like name-wise. But like, Nombe was unproven.
Yeah.
100 grand is a lot of money for us to spend. However, we flipped him for 10 times that.
At least.
And that is some very good business. He's got less than a year left on his contract. He's a very important player for us. I'd sooner he didn't go. There's a lot of arguments to be made that he's not the exact type of player that Colwell would have chosen himself.
Yeah.
And perhaps we can get someone, if not better, more suitable to the system. But that is very much It's a big if, isn't it? And it's like, as much as I'm pleased about getting the money, especially under these circumstances, I'm like, and even given Colwell's good track record in the transfer market, I'm still worried about who we can get in. Who's it going to be?
With a very short window left.
Yeah, a couple of days.
It's now Wednesday midday.
Yeah, they've got till Friday
Got
to
to
do
Friday
it.
night.
So, in exciting times.
Exciting times.
We need two, really. Well, I think we could do with, like, obviously, someone to hold up the ball, to bring in our other attackers, to bring in the wing backs, to bring in the kind of 2 10s that we play, if you like, the 2 attacking midfielders.
Yeah.
An outlet ball, but also would love a little fox in the box.
Yeah.
A poacher.
I mean,
we haven't had a poacher for a long time.
No, and with all those balls whizzing across.
And I think we've got the service there now, you know?
Yeah.
For someone to be like, you know, attacking the near post, feeding off scraps.
Yeah.
Someone who just wants to be in the penalty area and wants to shoot every single time the ball comes to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, he'll have plans, Gary, but whether he can get them over the line, we'll wait and see. More about that after this. Welcome back. So last night was Tuesday night cup action at St James Park. Stevenage in the EFL Carabao Cup.
Yes.
Their manager, Steve Evans, dressed like a man who'd pack your bags at Waitrose.
Was he?
Yeah.
What, like a little tabard on?
No, like a body warmer that had no fluff to it.
Right, okay, yeah.
Basically a waistcoat that was with a larger cut.
Like a fleece waistcoat.
I don't think it was even fleece. I don't know what it was. He looked insane.
Okay.
So for the record, I was sat... My daughter's never been to an evening match before, so we went to the evening match. And I don't know why, we thought we'd sit down. I think 'cause I thought she'll be flagging by the end. And we sat in the Ivor Doe Ball for no apparent reason, in like the best seats in the whole ground, it turned out. Good view of Steve Evans and his insane dress code. And there we are. So City went ahead.
Yes.
Alex Hartridge.
Alex Hartridge, again from a set piece. Not sure who took this one. I guess maybe Tom Carroll again. He gets the 2 bites at it, misses, like the header's blocked.
Yeah.
And then he kind of hits it on the bounce.
Into the ground.
Classic
interview with him afterwards.
Yeah, that was nice, wasn't it? See
was
a bit
nice.
of personality for once.
Yeah. Really laughing at himself.
Yeah. So that's his first goal since 2020.
Right. And isn't that right? He's only ever scored... The only time he's previously scored a COVID year.
That's what they said That's what they said. And then when he scored, it was in front of an empty away end as well. So, yeah, good for him to get on the score sheet. I think I got him in my prediction as top scorer. So,
oh, there you go.
Yeah, off the mark.
Well done, Alex. It's keeping Dan's chances alive.
So obviously no Nombe in the squad for this, as we knew he was off. So Sonny Cox starts up front.
Yeah.
There's a few other kind of changes in there. Reece Cole starts. Tom Carroll's on the bench. Aitchison, Trevitt. Did Mitchell start as well? Or did he come on? No, Mitchell came on. Oh, sorry, it's Harper started as well.
Who, by the way, Colwell is always shouting at.
Right, yeah.
Vinny, no! It's like that.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah.
Needs telling, doesn't he? Someone's got to tell him.
Seems to, yeah.
I thought on the whole it wasn't the best match in the world. In fact, there was times we didn't look particularly up to much. Some good spells. Good spell at the beginning of the first half.
Yeah.
Which led to the goal about 10 minutes in. After that, wasn't great.
Yeah.
And then a good spell at the beginning of the second half.
We were all over him then, weren't we?
Beginning of the second half. Yeah. And then after that, went a bit turgid after that as well.
Good word.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay. It was okay.
We should have been ahead, shouldn't we? We should have scored more beginning of the second half.
I think so. Yeah, that if we were going to score, it should and would have been then.
I thought Rankin...
Sonny Cox, I mean, that's not his strength to play there as a kind of lone front man, I don't think. Even saying that, I mean, he didn't run in behind. He wasn't making any good runs, and I thought that was kind of what he could do. He wasn't really doing it. Don't know why that was. there was a couple of opportunities. One in the first half where, and this goes back to what I'm saying about getting a poacher kind of goal getting kind of guy. Just like put your foot through it.
Yeah.
He tried to take a touch inside the 6-yard box when the ball came to him. It's like, and then lost it. Just smash it.
Yeah.
You know, he used to have that kind of. I think as a young player, he had that kind of instinctive kind of finishing. Well, I say that I don't really know. I know he scored a lot of goals, but anyway, I'm not sure he's the answer to the who's going to replace Nombe question. In fact, I'm pretty sure he isn't the answer. But you know, he didn't play badly, and hopefully he can use this season to kind of like develop.
Yeah. I thought Rankin's starting to get into the spirit of shooting a bit more, and
Rankin more. I mean, he came on.
Yeah.
In the second half, at half time, he came on, and there was more end product from him in about 3 minutes than we've seen all season.
Yes.
Just seemed to get he got a shot away quicker.
Yeah.
He got this, not really crosses, but getting to the byline and balls across the goal. And very good to see quick development there. You know. And
then kind of against the run of play, they got equaliser, didn't they?
Yeah, it was against the run of play. They had a good spell. Aitchison got kind of completely shoved into the advertising.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Which the ref didn't give anything for.
Ref was awful.
Well, at times he was. It's
same old story.
Always the best you can get, and it's either rubbish ref, like really bad, or fine, but then make some mad decisions.
Yes.
And that's what it seemed like to me. I don't know what that was about. The guy clearly pushed him, and he's already off the pitch. It's actually quite dangerous, really. We think he's okay, but he was down for a long time.
Yeah.
Kyle Taylor came on to replace him and looked very energetic.
Yeah.
Had a good chance, actually, and then blazed it over. But,
yes.
We couldn't quite get that goal in the end, and then they scored kind of down the right-hand side, cross into the box. Guy gets across, Sweeney heads it in. You know, we're a little bit kind of taken a bit by surprise. Even though I said like it was coming, they were getting balls into the box and they were getting on the end of them. Yeah, I think it was about right, really. Like I said, not really the best performance in the world, especially outside of the first 10 minutes of the second half.
So the EFL Cup now goes to penalties straight away.
Yes.
After 0-0. So it did?
1-1.
Sorry, after a draw is what I mean.
Straight to penalties.
Yes. Yeah, so that was interesting. I've got no recollection of seeing penalties at St James Park, except Wickham in the same competition 2 years ago. And this is the first time in front of the big bank.
That was down the away end.
That was down the away end, yeah.
There's been a couple others. I
can't remember any, honestly. I
seem to remember us having a penalty shootout in front of the big bank a while ago.
I'm sure you're right. I feel
like it's against Plymouth, but I don't know. Anyway, it was nice to see.
Yeah.
It was like, this is cool. We got the whole big bank.
Yeah.
Like with the penalties right in front of you,
yeah.
And it was like, it was enjoyable because we won it, but
yes.
I don't know how enjoyable it would have been if we didn't. But 4-2.
Scored all of them, didn't we?
We scored all our penalties, and
yeah.
Sinisalo saved a very bad penalty of theirs.
Yes,
so,
5-3 I think it was, wasn't it?
Whatever.
Yeah. Great. Lovely. Sweeney puts the winner in.
Aimson with the...
Yes.
Not Aitchison and Aimson. Anyway.
Yeah, so Aimson scores, Sweeney scores, Carroll scores.
Yeah, Trevitt
scores, and someone else scores.
Who was the other one?
I don't know. Was it Cole?
No, he's off.
Yeah.
Kyle Taylor.
Kyle Taylor scores, yeah.
Yeah. Amoson's the pick of the bunch, but they're all decent penalties.
Yeah, they really were.
And we're through to the third round of the FA Cup since 1989.
The League Cup, but yes, that's right.
Sorry, the League Cup since 1989. A time where I was
much younger.
Is that the year we won the league?
Yeah.
The year. So 33 years ago. Pretty good, isn't it?
Pretty good. And all the big teams are now in the draw. So the draw's tonight.
So
Wednesday night.
At the moment, as much as there's still kind of like there's the Nombe transfer, there's a few things here and there. We're second in League One.
We're second in League One.
We're playing really well.
Yeah.
On the whole. We're in the third round of the FA Cup.
League Cup, but yes.
The League Cup. The Carabao Cup.
Yes.
I'll just
I know.
call it that.
Here's what's mad as well.
That's
Dan.
pretty good, isn't it?
It's
It's a pretty good
really
place
good.
to be.
What a place to be. I mean, if we're being pessimistic, we've already accumulated 10 points. That's a quarter of the way towards what we need.
Yep.
If we're being optimistic, no one's run away with it. It's only Oxford above us, and they're 2 points ahead. That's Oxford. That's not Derby or Ipswich or...
No.
And now I know those teams will pick up.
Yeah, and we'll pick down.
And we'll pick down. But it makes you feel optimistic, doesn't it?
I know. Like I said, it just don't... It's about as... You couldn't have hoped for as good a start as this.
We were being... there was a lot of negativity around everything. Because obviously we lost a massive chunk of our squad.
Well, yeah. It's just the unknown, isn't it? And I think it's fair enough. We had a bad pre-season as well, I think. But it's really good, isn't it? And it's
really good.
Enjoyable.
So this Saturday, it's Exeter City's second team versus Exeter City first team. That's right,
Yes.
Burton Albion away.
Yes.
Home to who? Remind us.
Home to who? Who?
As in who now plays for Burton
I thought you
Albion?
meant famous people from Burton.
Oh, I can't think of any apart from Pirelli. Is that a person?
No, don't think so.
No.
So they've got Jamal Blackman,
Yes. In goal.
Raheem Harper,
Yeah.
Kegs Chauke,
Yeah.
and Jake Caprice.
Yes. That's 4 of last season's squad.
Yep.
Apart from Blackman, that's 3 of our... Certainly not our starting 11.
No.
I thought it was bizarre at the time, and it's not really working out for them.
They've had a shocking start to the season.
I think they're 1 off the bottom. They've only got 1 point, I know that.
1
No,
point,
2 points. 2 points. 2 draws it is.
2 draws.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they've drawn their last 2
Okay.
and lost 5 before that. They are 22nd
Yeah.
and they're -6 goal difference. I think they've only scored 2 goals.
Oh, my good grief.
They lost in the cup last night to Leicester, or was that last night? No, not last night. They lost in the second round to Leicester City,
Right.
and yeah, we'll go there full of optimism, I suppose.
Full of optimism. Absolutely we will. Blimey.
Oh yeah.
Well, I should think we would feel like we've got a very good chance of coming away with 3 points.
And presumably we have a new striker by then as well.
Oh,
So that'd be interesting.
I wonder who. Obviously, like we said, Gary will have some people in mind, but it's whether we can make it happen, isn't it?
We'll have to make something happen, don't we?
So they're managed. Yeah, we have to. Yeah.
We just literally haven't got a big enough squad at the moment. I mean, I think as much as it's going well right now, the squad is small. If we're definitely going to lose more people, as in we're losing Nombe, we needed to strengthen anyway, even with him there.
Yeah.
So we have got to try and get ideally 3 in between now and Friday.
That would be remarkable.
Yeah, but I think kind of necessary, to be honest.
I mean, Colwell's delivered on everything so far, so
Yeah,
I'm certainly
absolutely.
hopeful.
Yeah. Now, I don't think Jamal Blackman's been playing the last couple of games. I guess he's injured. He hasn't been in the squad, so
Right,
it's not like
okay.
they've dropped him, I guess. Unless he's been out punching again. But the other lot seem to have been playing a bit, sometimes on the bench, sometimes starting.
I mean, Kegs and Harper versus Trevitt and Carroll.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I'd rather have.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, imagine it. Look at the upgrade there.
That's remarkable.
Yeah.
Their managers...
We'll probably go and lose to him now, won't we?
Oh, well,
But
let's just hope not. Their manager's Dino Mamria. Remember him? He was at Stevenage, then he was at Crewe.
I remember the name.
Yeah, he's no
Let me
great.
get my hands on your mammary glands.
Good grief. Yeah.
That's what he was singing about, wasn't it? Moz?
Yes, I believe it was. I think we would struggle. Well, obviously, we've never finished that high.
You're going to say we'll struggle to lose against them?
No, I wasn't.
Right.
I was going to say we'd struggle to remember as successful a campaign in the third tier so far. I don't have the stats. I know there've been times when we've sat top.
It must be our best
briefly.
start.
Mustn't it?
I mean, we did have that one season where we finished 7th, but then we start badly in that one.
Well, I can't ever remember us being... I know it's only 5 games in. I'm not getting ahead of myself. But 5 games, it's like, I think it was 2 games previously, and we'd got a win and a draw. We'd got 2 wins.
Okay. Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
it's just
still
great,
not.
isn't it?
I'm not getting carried away. I'm
not
still.
getting carried
I'm still
away.
nervous about Burton away, even though it's like it's our easiest game in the season so far on paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking forward to it though.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
In other news,
Yes.
Saturday just gone.
Yeah.
Minutes after our injury time winner came some not even better news, but some incredible news.
Oh, yeah.
Which was
Oh, yeah.
the news from Birmingham City. Jay Stansfield
On his
signed
debut.
for them on Thursday
Yes.
on loan from Fulham. And we saw that. And we were like, look who their first match is against. Plymouth Argyle at home. Stansfield starts on the bench.
Yeah.
Comes on late on.
Yeah.
It's 1-1.
Yeah.
Ball goes over the top. Jay Stansfield dinks it around the front of a Plymouth Argyle defender.
Yeah.
If you want to look up the slow motion version of this goal, by the way, if you haven't seen it, I'm sure everybody has. Dinks it round the front of him, almost like Ollie Watkins. You know the wonder goal Watkins scored against Argyle?
Yes.
He dinks it, and you think, he's gone over his head. He hasn't gone over his head. He's gone round the front of him. It's a little bit like that, and then smashes it in like 95th minute on his debut against Argyle. Absolutely loving it. Giving it the ears to the Argyle fans. Unbelievable. And it just made such a good day on Saturday, didn't it? We get a last-minute winner, and then Stano gets a last-minute winner on his debut against Argyle. It's just like, you're in like cloud 9.
Can't write it, can you?
Stansfield, a lot of narrative. He's a narrative guy, and there's always like kind of that.
Also, it makes you think like he's destined for big things, doesn't it?
Well, I think that shows, doesn't it, that he's kind of like a bit of a big game player.
Yes.
And then I've watched 2 interviews with him after the match, and both times he brings up the fact that it's against Plymouth, and that he's not asked about it. He's the one offering this, like the point of. So it's like I just love it that it means something to him as well.
Yeah.
They must hate him.
Yeah, they do. And
Anyway,
it fires him up even more, I think.
that was good, wasn't it? That was really
brilliant. It's
perfect.
Brilliant. Yeah,
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Fair play to him. Good luck to him. Hope he does well.
It's
Sure
a
he
good
will.
move, isn't it? I'm glad he's gone to it.
Well, they're doing well, aren't they, Birmingham?
Yeah, and it's a big club,
Yeah.
championship move. That's great, isn't it? I mean,
Although the ground looks like a bomb's exploded there at the minute, doesn't
it
it?
does look a bit bad.
Yeah.
What's that about? St Andrews.
Yeah, I guess they're redoing it. I haven't been paying attention to it, and then I saw it at the weekend. I was like, oh, flip.
No, why would you? I mean,
Yeah.
you've got better things to do than
I certainly have,
going to
yeah.
Legoland and whatnot.
Oh, yeah, all the big hits. There we are. That was this week. We'll be back next week, of course.
I was going to say something more about the bill, but I think I just won't bother.
Oh.
It was only about the theme music being an interesting time signature, but yeah.
Is that...
If you're interested, look it up. The old one, not the new version.
Right.
Basically, I think they had to update it because people were too, they couldn't get their head around it.
Right.
It was too out there. Whack it on YouTube, the old Bill theme music, and try and nod your head to it.
Will your police helmet come clean off?
If you're not Stuart Copeland, you'll struggle.
Okay.
All
right.
I think it's in something like 7/4.
Oh.
And there's quite a lot of discourse online around it, actually. And someone was just saying, oh, no, it's not 7/4. It's actually 14/8 or 14. I don't know, 14/2. Anyway.
Grief.
If you know anything about time signatures, give it a listen.
Lord of the Rings theme tune, not interesting.
No.
You got me on that one.
And even got any drums, has it?
Don't imagine so. Thanks for listening, everyone. My name's John. I've been here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Cheers.
See you soon.